Quarterback Kenny Pickett is battling back from a hamstring injury this preseason. But when he returns to the field, the former first-round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers will not be the starter for his new team. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported Monday the Cleveland Browns have named Joe Flacco their starting quarterback for Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. Flacco quickly emerged as QB1, while the others battle injuries, Rappaport tweeted. The player who led them to the playoffs in 2023 is back. Flacco went 4-1 as a starter for the Browns in 2023. Behind his 4 victories, the Browns finished that campaign 11-6 and earned a postseason berth as an AFC wild card team. Flacco owns an 105-86 record as an NFL starting quarterback. He won 96 games for the Baltimore Ravens after the team drafted him number 18 overall in the 2008 NFL Draft. Flacco led the Ravens to a Super Bowl victory, winning the game's MVP award in February 2013. While it makes sense the Browns are going with Flacco as their starter, it's a significant blow to Pickett's NFL future. Pickett is entering the final year of his rookie contract this fall and was trying to earn a starting role for the first time since 2023. But instead of competing, Pickett has spent most of 2025 training camp and the preseason with an injured hamstring. Pundits have speculated this preseason that if he didn't win the starting job, Pickett could become a trade or cut candidate for the Browns. Those rumors are only going to escalate with Cleveland naming Flacco its starter. The Pittsburgh Steelers are cutting nose tackle Breiden Fehoko, the team announced as part of a flurry of moves on Monday. Pittsburgh had to find some room to make up with injuries to other positions, and Fehoko, who was signed earlier in August after veteran Dean Lowry went down for the season, now becomes a free agent again. Fehoko was on the team's practice squad last season and joined them midway through last year after suffering a shoulder injury during training camp. Fehoko lost 37 pounds this offseason, cutting weight to try and get more explosive. However, the Steelers remain extremely deep at defensive tackle and will have to make tough cuts. It was an uphill battle for Fehoko. The 28-year-old Fehoko was undrafted out of LSU in the 2020 NFL Draft, signing with the Los Angeles Chargers. He stayed there from 2020 to 2022, but they let him walk shortly after that, and as a result, he landed with the Steelers later that offseason. While Fehoko did not land on the Steelers' active roster, he was elevated for 2 games in the 2023 season. He was not elevated for a game during the 2024 campaign. In his career, Fehoko has 36 total tackles as a run plugger in the middle of the defense. Kuntz suffered an injury to his sternum on Saturday, and Mark Kaboly of the Pat McAfee Show reports it is believed to be broken. Provided that is indeed the case, Kuntz is set to miss regular season time. The 31-year-old has handled a full 17-game slate during each of his first 4 Steelers campaigns. That is set to change in 2025 based on his recovery period, however. Kuntz could be a candidate to begin the season on injured reserve depending on his prognosis. An IR stint would require at least a 4-game absence to begin the campaign. Any missed time will be felt on special teams for the Steelers given the former UDFA's performances so far in his career. When speaking to the media on Monday, head coach Mike Tomlin described Kuntz's injury as being short-term. Hat tip Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. That is certainly an encouraging update, though the possibility of missed time will remain, depending on how the recovery process unfolds. The Steelers announced on Monday that 14-year veteran Jake McQuaide has been signed. He will be tasked with replacing Kuntz for the time being. McQuaide has 197 regular season appearances to his name based on time spent with the Rams, Cowboys, and Lions leading up to last season. In 2024, the 2-time Pro Bowler played a total of 7 games between the Vikings and Dolphins. McQuade's Pro Bowl nods came during the 2016 and 17 campaigns. A return to that form would come as a surprise, but the 37-year-old could offer stability to Pittsburgh as an injury fill-in as needed this season. It will be interesting to see how long Kuntz, under contract for another 2 years, is sidelined for, and thus the length of time during which the Steelers will be without a key specialist. Beanie Bishop Jr. was a pleasant surprise for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. As an undrafted rookie, he won the starting slot corner job and made several big plays throughout the year. However, going into the season, his roster spot isn't secure. Terrell Austin said so himself. Recently, Bishop spoke on what it's like fighting for a roster spot this year. "It's different," Bishop said Monday via the team's website. "Obviously, I'm going in knowing more than I knew last year. I kind of have the trust of the coaches as far as knowing the plays, being in the right position. It's still a battle every year to compete until I get to that second contract and start making the big money. It's still one of those things. Come in, work every day, and still prove myself because you gotta earn the right to be on the team." The Steelers weren't shy about adding corners to their roster this offseason. They signed Brandon Echols and Darius Slay, and also traded for Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey and Slay figure to be starters. Echols has also improved his stock throughout training camp and the preseason. Add in Joey Porter Jr., and that puts 4 corners on the Steelers' 53-man roster. That leaves 1 or 2 spots left in that room. Up to this point, Bishop has done a good job fighting to earn one of those spots. While he hasn't made any splash plays, he's made the routine plays routinely. That could be enough for him to keep his job. His biggest competitors are likely Corey Trice Jr. and James Pierre. Trice has a rare blend of size and athleticism, but he's struggled to stay healthy. Pierre is more of a depth piece, but he's been a quality player on special teams, which increases his value. During that same video, Bishop shared more about his mindset, explaining how it hasn't changed even after his fine rookie year. "I can never be satisfied. I always remember that I wasn't drafted. So, it's just one of those things. I was always overlooked, so I never forget that." As an undrafted player, Bishop isn't a stranger to being the underdog. While his spot with the Steelers isn't secure, that hasn't shaken his confidence. The Steelers have 1 preseason game left, which could make or break Bishop's chances at sticking in Pittsburgh. We'll see if he does enough to earn his spot. The Pittsburgh Steelers are hosting free agent wide receiver Gabe Davis for a visit, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports. This is the second visit that Davis will have with the Steelers after coming to the team facility in June. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport says health is the issue with Davis, as he is coming off knee surgery in November. He suffered a torn meniscus, which still has to heal in his left knee. In addition, he had suffered a PCL sprain in January 2024, adding some more concern to that knee. The Jaguars released Davis with a failed physical designation. That clearly spells out that Davis is not healthy to practice right now, and there would be little to use for signing him. In just 10 games in 2024, Davis caught 20 receptions for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was enough for the Jaguars to cut him just 1 year into a 3-year, $39 million deal. His 2024 was far better, amassing 746 yards in 17 games on 46 receptions. His career year came in 2023, when Davis posted 836 yards and 7 touchdowns on 48 receptions. He torched the Steelers as a downfield threat in the Buffalo Bills offense before with Josh Allen, including a 98-yard touchdown. Wide receivers Calvin Austin III and Ben Skowronek are battling injuries, which also could be the impetus for the team's pursuit of Davis.